गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Ramana, Radha Ramana Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Madan Gopal Radha, Madan Gopal Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Girdhari Radha, Giridhari Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Ras Bihari Radha, Ras Bihari Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Path Sati, Radha Path Sati Shri Radhe, Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Jai Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar, Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar, Gaurangi Jai Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev. Jai Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva, Subhadra Mai Jayo Sudarshana, Jayo Nittai Chaitanya, Jayo Nittai Chaitanya, Nittai Chaitanya, Jayo Nittai Chaitanya, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, Jai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज की जय। ऑल glories। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री गौ जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर जी की जय। प्रेम से कहिए जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। ब्रजमंडल क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। अयोध्या धाम की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। और अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। आने वाले कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी महामहोत्सव, बलराम जयंती महामहोत्सव, राधाष्टमी आदि महोत्सव की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees. So today we welcome all for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. And the text we are going to read is from Canto 4, chapter 14, and the title, the verse numbers are 44 and 45. The chapter's title is The Story of King Vena. So we have been reading this chapter for quite some time, and the chapter is going towards the completion. We are heading towards the end. Maybe just one verse after that, it will end. So, the glories of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is very, very Amal Purana, which was declared by none other than the Lord Himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Krishna Swadhamo Pagate Dharma Jnana Dibi Saha, which means what did the religion took shelter of after Krishna's departure from this world. So, Srimad Bhagavatam came into existence just to show the light to the ignorant people. So, this Puran was written by Srila Vyasadeva, compiled by Srila Vyasadeva on the inspiration of Narad Muni. And at the mature age, so this is the spotless Puran, and it is full of devotion. No other things are there, because every other Puranas, which are 18 in number, some Puranas are sattvic in nature, like Padma Puran, Skanda Puran, Vishnu Puran, Srimad Bhagavata Puran, likewise. Some are in the mode of ignorance, some are in the mode of passion. So 666, like so many divisions are there. So, but this is was the last one which was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, and therefore it is Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. So we start discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Namam Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktirabhavati Nishtuki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So first we recite shloka number 44, which has no purport by Srila Prabhupada, and subsequently we'll go to the 45th. Kak Krishno ati tinva swango. Kak Krishno titrashwango. Rishva bahur maham hanoha. Risva pana nimna nasagro. Raktakshasha tamra murdhajaha. Kak Krishno tivaswango Risva mahur mahahanuhu Yasvapanim nanasagro Raktakshastambra murdhajaha. Kak Krishnoti Sahiveswango Risva bahur mahahanuhu Risva pani nasagro Raktakshara murdhajaha. Synonyms translation by Krishna Kripamurti Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kak Krishna, as black as crow. Ati Rishva, very short. Anga, his limbs. Risva, short. Bahu, his arms. Maha, big. Hanu, his jaws. risva, short, path, his legs, nimna, flat, nas agraha, the tip of his nose, rakta, reddish, akshah, his eyes, tamra, copper-like, murdha jaha, his hair. Translation: this person born from King Vena's thighs was named Bahuka, and his complexion was as black as crows. All the limbs of his body were very short, his arms and legs were very short, and his jaws were large. His nose was flat, his eyes were reddish, and his hair copper colored. So, this is the description of the Bahuka, who was the son of Vena, King Vena, which was basically appeared after the churning of the thighs of King Vena. So next verse we read. Tam tu te anavatam dinam kim karomiti vadinam nishidetya bruvā vastan sa nishadastato abhavat tam tum te vanatam dinam kim karomiti vadinam nishidetya bruvastata sa nishadastato bhavat tam tu te avanattinam kim karomiti vadinam nishidetya bruvastan ta sa nishadastato abhavat. Synonyms: tam, unto him; tu, then; te, the sages; avanatam, bowed down; dinam, meek; kim, what; karomi, shall I do; iti, thus; vadinam, inquiring; nishida, nishid, just sit down; iti, thus; abruvan, they replied; tat, my dear Vidura; sah, he; nishadah, of the name Nishad; tatah, thereafter; abhavat, became. Translation and purport by Krishna Kripamurti, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki dwara, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was very submissive and meek, and immediately after his birth, he bowed down and inquired, Sirs, what shall I do? The great sages replied, Please sit down, Nishada. Thus Nishad, the father of the Nishad race, was born. Purport. It is said in the Shastras that the head of the body represents the Brahmanas, the arms represent the Kshatriyas, the abdomen represents the Vaishyas, and the legs, beginning with thighs, represent the Shudras. The Shudras are sometimes called black or Krishna. The Brahmanas are called Shukla or white. And the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are a mixture of black and white. However, those who are extraordinarily white are said to have skin produced out of white leprosy. It may be concluded that white or golden hue is the color of the higher caste and black is the complexion of the Shudras. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी विष्णु Hare Krishna. So welcome devotees, and the what we are discussing is the story of King Vena. Vena is the son of Maharaj Ang, who comes in the dynasty of Dhruv Maharaj, and King Anga was very pious king, whereas the Vena was completely opposite because he had a lot of demoniac characteristics because he inherited them from his maternal grandfather. He was the Mrityu. Uh, so, because of that, those demoniac qualities came in him, and from the childhood, he used to kill innocent animals. Not only innocent animals, but also the peers, his uh, friends and other other children who were small, but he used to beat them, kill them very ruthlessly. So he didn't have any mercy, and because of that, we see a lot of sages. Once he was enthroned after King Anga, he left the kingdom after getting frustrated with his activities. So he left, and he was made the king by the sages. They thought that otherwise the rogues and thieves will flourish, and there will not be any protection to the citizens. So they thought in good spirit after taking the permission of his mother, Sunita, and he was enthroned. But his uh, activities even increased after he was enthroned. So thereafter, the sages thought that it's not a good idea for him to continue. So, but before that, they give him lot of advice what he should do. What is they try to pacify and persuade him that he should leave all these demoniac activities and take the path of religion, what his forefathers have been practicing. But he didn't pay any attention to it, and rather he said, "I am the king. I am the I am the like supreme personality of Godhead. So please worship me." And then the sages thought that he is not going to make any changes in himself, so they decide him to kill. And they kill with just reciting some mantras. And after that, his mother, Sunita, she preserves his body by some mantras and some ointments. So thereafter, we see that since the dynasty has to go further, so the sages churn the body. So from his body, last verse we saw that the saintly persons and sages, they churn the thigh of his dead body. And from that, by specific method, so our science was so advanced that through a specific method, even from a dead body, they could create a child, which is dwarf-like person. And in this verse, we see his description, what he was. Like his name was Bahuka. Bahuk, and his complexion was dark as black as crow. The limbs of body were very short. He was a short dwarf-like personality, and his arms and legs were short. His jaws were large. His nose was flat. His eyes were reddish, and his hair copper-colored. So this is the the first person who comes in the dynasty, the as a child from King Vena, is Bahuka. And again his personality is Nishad. So he becomes the origin of Nishad race, Prabhupada writes here. And the sages instruct him to recite. So immediately after uh, he asks the sages, "Sir, what shall I do?" He is very, very meek and gentle, and he bowed down. So he is asking them that, what is my duty? What should I do? So the sages say, please sit down, Neshid, and there they name him as a Nishida. So thus Nishad, the father of Nishad race, was born. Now we see that Prabhupada writes that there are four classes of men, which means as per the Varnashrama. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all Varnas are and ashrams are created by me. Chatur Varnam Maya Srashtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Tasya Kartaram Api Mam Vidya Kartaram Avyayam. So all these, according to three modes of material nature. So Prabhupada is also writing here that Prabhupada is connecting them with colors, but here we see, as per the modes of material nature, they are four divisions of human society. So we see the Brahminical Brahmanas are situated in the mode of goodness. So the first class men, Prabhupada used to say, the divisions of social order can be in the first class. Intelligent men are known as Brahmanas. They are the head of the society, head of any kingdom. Then next is the administrative class, and they are all existing in other countries also. Not that they are just the caste-based system in India, what is prevailing, but they are there in every society, be it American, be it Japanese, be it European. Everywhere we'll find out all of them. And the next is the administrative class, which are kshatriyas. So they are situated in the mode of passion, because they will be always working very hard and protective. They have some Ishwara bhav, and they will not yuddha apalayan, they will not do. So all these modes are described in Bhagavad Gita in detail in the then the third class of men are mercantile men, the Vaishyas, which are situated in the mode of passion and ignorance both. Sometimes passion takes over, and sometimes the ignorance. They are the mixed. And the Shudras, the labor class, are situated in the ignorant mode of material nature. So, basis that the human society is divided. And accordingly, their activities will also be. So, their duties are also accordingly. Like Brahmanas will be doing the yajan, yachan, pathan, pathan. Hmm. Uh, so that is their activities. Then Krashi Goraksha is the activities of Vaishyas. Then Kshatriyas, they will be protecting the other three. Like Brahmanas, they are protector of Brahmanas, they are protector of Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. And the duty of the Shudras is to Paricharyat. So they will be always be serving the remaining three, the first three classes of men. So social segregation was practiced in the Vedic system for preserving the spiritual culture. But it was not meant for any hatred, because they were all limbs of the one body. We can see in our body also we need the head, brain, intelligence coming from the our Brahmanical uh, quality. So head, then arms are the Kshatriyas, and the belly is the Vaishyas, represent the Vaishyas, which means we have the trade, Krishi and Goraksha, through which we get the nourishment of body. And fourth one is the legs. Our legs are making us work, move from one place to the other. So that means through which we can serve the remaining. So that's why all four limbs are very, very important. It's not that just one limb, even if just one limb is there, we cannot survive. So a body cannot survive. Same way, the society also cannot be sustain if the all the four limbs are not there. So this means they are to preserve the spiritual culture, and gradually it is to advance from Shudra to Vaishya, Vaishya to progressively from Vaishya to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahmins. So that society was promoting the spiritual culture, preserving, not the hatred. And if they are collaborating, cooperating with each other, then that is the best society. But Prabhupada wanted even beyond that, which is a Devi Varnashram. So everyone working for the supreme cause, the Lord Krishna, and Krishna was the center of everything. Vedic society understood the influence of association, because if they are mixing with each other, then there is a influence from one another, and hence impure elements were distanced physically and socially for purification. So purification will happen only within them. If we are mixing with each other, then there could be some issues, because their eating habits, their their living lifestyle, everything is different. And because of that, in the Vedic society, they used to live separately, and all the systems were separately, so designed so as to not to mix them. So Vedic system emphasize sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic categorization. So that is called the power of association. The Nishad banishment was not hatred, but it was out of compassion. Uh, and by serving the other classes, they used to advance spiritually as well, and to allow the purification by nature's mode of goodness in the forest. So if they're written here that they were living in the forest. Yeah. Prabhupada write somewhere that the Nishads are in the like Adivasi people living in the forest. And from, because we see the, if we see the Prabhupada also stressed very very strongly for the positive associations. So therefore, he created temples, devotees, and the holy books through which we can get associated with the Brahmins. So the main purpose of creating this ISKCON society, setting up this society of ISKCON was to create large number of Brahmins who can give the direction to the society. And Brahmins will, if there are Rajrishi, which means Raja is also a Rishi. So Rishi belongs to the Brahminical qualities, and Raja is the Kshatriya quality. So put together is a best combination for any king. And all we see in the Vedic culture, King Bharat, King Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ramachandra ji, Lord Ramchandra also displayed, exhibited those qualities so that just others can also follow. Dashrath Maharaj, we see all these are Rajarishis. Janak Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, all. So, because of that, if the king is head is Rajarishi, then he will also develop the praja will also follow yad yat acharati shrestha. So, people will follow the right role model. Here we see that King Vena, he displayed a very negative role model for the society, and because of that he had to be killed by the sages. Otherwise sages have no business to in the political affairs of the state, but sages will come into picture only when they see that it is not good for the people in larger interest. It may disturb the society and the Varna Sankara, or if the society is degraded, then Varna Sankaras will be flourishing, and because of that, the whole population will get contaminated. So they are always worried about the worried about the welfare of the whole society, and because of that only even many of the scriptures came, just because of the sages thought that what is the best welfare of the society. And the Bhagavatam, the origin of Bhagavatam is also uh, related to that. When in Naimisharanya, so many sages, 80,000 plus sages assembled the when Kali Yuga was about to begin. So they decided that what is the welfare of the most welfare act of for the whole society, and what is the good for everybody. So they started some yajna for 1,000 years they were to do, and in the morning and evening they used to discuss the Bhagavatam, and they got this knowledge of Bhagavat from Suta Goswami. So there were questions, there were answers, and in this particular verse, we are seeing is this dialogue is going on between Vidur and Maitreya Muni. But the same dialogue was going on in Suta Goswami and the sages also, and Shukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So Bhagavatam is a multiple dialogues are going on parallelly, we can see. So the Vedic compassion versus the modern understanding. Modern understanding say that no, there should not be any division in the society. Everybody should be same, and because of that, so many laws were also passed in the when India got independence. But we see that now the criteria may have changed, but the classes of society are still there. It's it's not that they all have merged into one. So modern views, we see that segregation versus discrimination. So segregation is fine, but we should not be discriminating. But the discrimination is more in current society. We see in terms of uh, uh, economic status. We see a lot of discrimination, or the racial, even in the color. Also, we see in not only in India but also in the advanced countries like Americas or the British. They also have a lot of discrimination against the classes of people. So Vedic society was based on guna karma vibhaksha. So not just because of the, and Prabhupada gave this diksha, Brahmanical diksha to Malechas. So not that after we change their qualities, because if they are coming in a association of pure devotees like Prabhupada, even the people who were dog eaters or meat eaters, or they were breaking all the four regulations, but they stopped everything and they changed their guna and karma. So if the guna and karma changes, then the varna changes. And we can see even in the case of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was coming from a Muslim Muslim family, and they were eating Muslim families. Everybody eats the meat, most of them, and but Haridas Thakur, because of the power of holy name, he became the acharya of the holy name, Namacharya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he had left all the other these qualities. He was on a Shuddha Sattva platform. He became the one of the top associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, we see Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. They were Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik in the kingdom of Nawab Hussain. So they were Brahmins in the beginning, but because of the Nawab wanted them to work under him, and Nawab threatened him that if you don't convert, don't serve me, then I will kill the whole society. And the whole society is actually the subjects were all Hindus, and the Nawab was Muslim. So he wanted somebody from the Hindu society only to rule. So he made the prime minister and finance minister to Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. But once they started working under him, though they were very highly elevated Brahmins from Karnataka, Saraswat Brahmins. But what happened when they started working? So at that time, somebody who was working under a Muslim king, then because of the association, they will be treated as Muslims only. So Malechas. And because of that, their names also changed. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knew. So they were always longing to take the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they met him, the Ramkeli. So there he gave them darshan and some instructions. And after that, they started a great longing for Mahaprabhu's association. And the big first Rupa Goswami leaves the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah, and thereafter Sanatan Goswami also leaves. And then they become the Shuddha, pure Vaishnavas. So it is basically the Guna Karma Vibhag only decides the and this is basically a scientific organization. Vedic Society is a scientific organization, and the forest life given to Nishad was simply to live simply, simple way, and away from the corruption, where the chances of reformation is exist, and not as a punishment, right? And we can see the similar analogy in the corona time. People were quarantined because of the contagious disease a patient had, but it was not cruelty. If we were also isolated for 15 days during the corona waves, so people were isolation was given to them at the airports or in many other places in the hospitals, or the sometimes quarantine happened inside the flat apartment or building. So that does not mean that it's a cruelty against that particular person, because so that he cures himself and he doesn't contaminate others. That was the objective. So it was his protection for both the patients and the others. So we should always see this varnashrama in this kind of a spirit. But the dangers of leadership, the impure leadership, is that nishad comes out of vena. So that is a symbol of corrupt leadership, because vena was corrupt, and because of that, the nishad also came with his qualities, some of his qualities. And when the leadership is impure, it always affects its effects always spread throughout the society. So there will be some if there is a foul air, wind is blowing from foul area, then it is going to spread that kind of a foul smell only, odor only in the whole area. But the same wind, if it is blowing from the garden of very fragrant flowers, then it's going to give a very nice aroma. So both are possible. The sages, the responsibility was to protect dharma. So here we see the sages were only protecting the dharma. Their idea was not to kill Vena out of any animosity. They wanted that dharma should prevail. And we will see that now the second son and daughter who comes out of the body of uh, Vena are Prithu Maharaj. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself comes out of this dynasty, and he again re-establishes the dharma in the whole earth planet. Vena. So Srila Prabhupada warns us that when rulers are atheistic, the society suffers. Suffers in terms of wars, exploitation, loss of spiritual values, and we are unable to provide the protection to the elderly people, cows, the Brahmins, and women. So, if that is not there, the society will get contaminated and it will degrade. So, loss of spiritual values will happen. And the Krishna consciousness leaders, the uh, ISKCON is established to develop and train the leaders in the Krishna consciousness, and through Gurukulas and Varnashrama vision. So Prabhupada wanted this farm communities, Devi Varnashrama can be practiced in those areas. Even we now in India also, but the first beginning was New Vrindavan in USA. He established Gurukul as well as the farm community. And now we see so many farm communities now in India also. We are seeing, and they are increasing. So that is the best way to collaborate and use our modes in gradually progressing as per the Devi Varnashram. So Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, or even in Karnataka also there is a, I'm forgetting the name, near Belgaum, there is a farm community. So many communities are now coming, and it was Prabhupada's vision. And now we are seeing the even for the tribals, ISKCON is working. So Maharaj, the Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, he's now uh, spreading the Krishna consciousness in the tribal society also, in the northeast, in the Orissa, in MP or the Chhattisgarh area, where the large Jharkhand area, the large tribal community lives. There we are seeing the social changes coming, and those people are also getting the spiritual knowledge, and through the knowledge plus prasadam, and the Maharaj is serving them very, very, um, very intense way. And despite the sinful origin, nishads are not condemned eternally. So we should see that it's not that nishads in general everybody is condemned. Only their qualities are, if they have the mode of passion qualities, then those have to be condemned, not the community in general. And because the Lord is Bhavgrahi Janardhan, at the end, He accepts our sincerity, not the background. So we see, we see, everybody was delivered by Lord. He doesn't see what is our caste, what is our creed, what we are. So everybody, we can see the so many examples are there. Even the Gidd, the eagle vulture, who served the Lord, like he tried to fight Ravana. So Gidraj, the Jatayu, he was also delivered by the Lord, not just the human society, but the animals also, or uh, uh, the Ajamil. Ajamil also had a lot of those. Initially, he was Brahmin, but then he became full demoniac characteristics. He started taking association with the prostitute, and then so many things. But the holy name delivered him. So Lord is Bhavgrahi Janardhan. And from Chaitanya Lila also, Haridas Thakur was delivered, even though he came from Muslim family, we just discussed. And anyone who takes shelter of the holy name can be purified. So in Kali, Dosh Nidhi Rajan, Astim Ek Mahan Guna, Kirtanadev Krishnasya. So everybody can be delivered in this Kali Yuga. So practical lessons for us to from this particular chapter or particular verses is, we should avoid a little bad association, because sadhu sanga sarva shastra ka hai, lava matra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. But at the same time, we should be also be avoiding the bad association, because bad association can corrupt the consciousness. We see in the Kekai Mata. Mata Kekai took a very short association of mantra, but she was the most loving mother of Ramchandra ji, Lord Ramchandra. But through a very short association, she got the mind changed, and she became. So she wanted everything against King Ram. So this is what we should be avoiding. Bad association has a bigger price to pay. Maintain a devotee centered lifestyle. We should be like hearing, chanting, associating, and deity worship, because we don't know at what point of time, because we are carrying a lot of sanskars from our previous lives, so many in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion. So if just to avoid them, we need to every day fill our time or our activities in hearing, chanting, and associating with the devotees and deity worship, because they will purify us, and then we will remain in the mode of goodness. So these are the some of the real purification comes only from bhakti, not by rituals. So taking shelter of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is as same as Krishna only. So that's why we can take the association of Srila Prabhupada, the Bhagavad and the Bhagavad, so Vyakti Bhagavad and Granth Bhagavad, so book Bhagavad and the person Bhagavad. So we can take the association, and the holy name will keep us all the time in the Sattva-guna, and they will only lead us to Shuddha Sattva-guna. So thank you very much. This was my understanding from the verse. If you have any comment, correction, or any question, I'll be ready to answer. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Vancha Kalpatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.